Teddy, you're known as the creator of the New Jack Swing era. How important was that genre of music, or an influence was that genre of music to the R&B sound that we listen to today on the radio?
Well, first of all, it was its own genre. Matter of fact, it is its own genre. I have to put that in a better tense because it's still around. People are still doing it, and it's a movement. And it definitely was important because it made a lot of people, it changed a lot of people's lives. It was an impact on a lot of people. And people like Michael Jackson and, you know, Jay-Z and all these major guys were a part of it. So I think it touched on everyone, including people in the industry and people who still say today, like the Lady Gagas, I still respect your music. I still respect your movement. So it's very important. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important that we keep it going.
Sure. Okay. If somebody asked you what is New Jack Swing, how would you describe it? We work for NJS Survey, and a lot of people ask that. Everyone's got different answers to it. So how would you describe it? What is New Jack Swing, the music New Jack Swing?
It's not about the music, like I said, only. It's not about the music only. It's a movement. It's definitely music. It's impact. It's substance.
Sure.
You understand? Substance. A lot of the music today don't have no substance. And it's the new kid on the block.
Sure.
That's swinging it. That has swagger. The new word for today, for this time, is called a new kid on the block that has swagger. A style that is not consistent because it's always different. When I did it, you never could tell like which records are mine until you figure it out or you read the credits. So it didn't have a certain style. It's how we felt that day, which is how people, you know, should be every day. You should never be, unless you have a goal. This is the goal, but you don't wear the same clothes every day. So that's New Jack Swing.
You're responsible for two supergroups. Obviously, we mentioned Guy in '87, part of the New Jack Swing era, and BLACKstreet came on in '92, more like the hip-hop soul years. How did both of those bands differ musically in production?
One, I can only say Guy, when we came in, we had a sound that was one direction. And we went after like the Gap Band and, you know, Charles Wilson. We went after people of that style. We went after, you know, the Manhattans, and we went for the soulful singing. But what I did was I took that, which with Aaron Hall, he had one sound. He had one voice. He didn't have the range. You understand? And it's no disrespect because he's a great singer, but he only had one range and style that I can only do. With BLACKstreet, it's totally different because I had all ranges. I had 5 octaves of vocals, from my low voice to my alto, from Chauncey's alto to his, you know, soprano, and then you have Mark from his alto all the way to his double soprano. Then you have Eric, who had sort of like where I was at, but we had different ranges. And then we had different tones. It's a big difference. Aaron had one tone. Damien didn't have a sound and he didn't have a style. So that's the reason why he wasn't on a lot of records. He was only maybe on 3 records, and he was a fill-in. What I had brought to the table with Guy was sort of like a different style that was just gibberish, you know, and it was entertaining to the phonograph, which is what I did with BLACKstreet, adding along with these smooth voices. Whether it went from Joseph Stone Street to Dave Hollister, to Eric, to Mark, to Terrell. But going from all of those styles, you had every range, but you can only stick Aaron in the middle of that because he had one, you know what I'm saying? Just like everybody there had their own direction. but I utilized them all. If I could have put Aaron Hall in Blackstreet, it would be a monster. Because that means I would have every tone, every style, and every range.
How did Teddy Riley find the keyboard, and how did the keyboard find Teddy Riley?
Well, I found the keyboard through the spirit that was sent down to me through God, who gave me the talents to do what I do. How the keyboard found me was it magnetically touched me because it had sounds that only my fingers could actually bring out. That's what every musician out there, they can only hear the waves of a piano sound or a sound period. So if you're a real or true musician, when you talk, I can tell you the notes that you're hitting. When you talk, everyone sings, even when you talk. It's a note that comes out of your vocal cord. So that's how the piano touched me.
Thank you for your time, and New Jack Swing forever.
All right.
Look forward to seeing you again in London. Thank you very much.